downtown where you can get a date for 50, 60, 70, even 80% off the original social marketplace price. Coming to paperback and e-readers, Isis Dark Incubus. The goddess next door gets enthralled in a romantic entanglement with an evil incubus in this all-new Isis series adventure. Pre-order your copy of Isis Dark Incubus at Amazon.com and other online booksellers everywhere. A black man got disrespected when he decided to take a modern black woman on a date to the Shake Shack.
Look at him. Y'all see this? Look at me. Y'all see how I look right now? This man that brought me on a date to Shake Shack. Like, of all places. Bruh. Look at him.
Bruh,
you got all the chains and stuff like that on your neck.
Just like that girl, but
Shit might have been wrong.
Shake Shack is nothing wrong. Then you order the chicken sandwich and stuff. Like, it's nothing wrong with Shake Shack. Shake Shack is a good spot. You tripping.
Really? So you could have took me nowhere else better than Shake Shack.
And Shake Shack is a good spot to go to.
I mean, this what you got me.
Any other
That's
female
it.
would have loved to go to Shake Shack.
You got me 2 sandwiches and a drink.
So what? And it cost me $50 for just this.
This cost you $50.
$50. It cost me $50.
Let me see the receipt.
You ain't got to see the receipt. That's how much it costs. You act like you ungrateful. That's why I don't even like going on dates and stuff like that.
I mean, you be going out spending hundreds of thousands at the club and stuff like that. I don't see why I gotta come to Shake Shack.
But the thing about it is this is lunch. You feel me? You said, let's go out for lunch. Surprise me. And I took you to Shake Shack. And this is how you act.
And that's the best surprise you could have got. Go ahead, start recording. I'm already in there.
I'm gonna show the internet
how
ungrateful women is.
Show them.
You feel me?
Show them.
But you want to order like you still order like you want to eat. You still about to eat.
I ain't say the food was nasty. I just said I wanted something else.
You wanted to go to what? Where you want to go? Where do you want to go?
I mean, shoot. I mean, right here in the South Side. I mean, all these fancy restaurants over here. We couldn't have got something that at least gave me some silverware.
We could have went that for dinner.
Okay, but check this out. Check this out, though. Hold on.
Right
I'm about to prove a point, though. Man, pick up your fork. Let me see your fork. Yeah.
That's how Shake Shack do their forks.
That's a fork.
This is how Shake Shack do it.
Okay.
This is how Shake Shack. This is finger food.
Okay.
Like, you don't even need a fork. This is bougie. Like, look, that's bougie.
All right.
I wonder how many of these black men are going to go out here and say this is a skit. Now, in this latest video of a date turned into a disaster, a modern black woman is going on a date with a black man at the Shake Shack. And as they're sitting down to the lunch date that they arranged, she decides to take out her smartphone and show herself wearing a lace front wig, caked on makeup, and a powder blue jogging suit, talking about how she's so attractive and so dressed up, and she's upset that this man took her to the Shake Shack for a lunch date. And as they're sitting in front of this food, this woman expressed her contempt for this black man by telling him he had the audacity to take her to the Shake Shack. And as she's sitting there berating this man, who basically spent $50 on a lunch for both of them, she shows how ungrateful she is for this man taking time out of his day to spend on a lunch with her. Now, this modern woman is very similar to the black modern woman who was upset because her date took her to the Cheesecake Factory after she basically spent hours getting dressed up to go to a fancy restaurant, but wound up missing the reservation and then got upset that she had to go to the Cheesecake Factory. And this modern woman basically is participating in the same type of ungrateful behavior and showing the same kind of attitude towards this man who she clearly has absolutely no respect for. Now, this woman basically shows me that she doesn't really understand anything about dating and relationships from her behavior, because it's clear to me she possibly is one of these modern black women who was raised in a single mother household and possibly got all of her ideas from dating and relationships from her single mother, and that was reinforced by a lot of these Terry McMillan novels, Tyler Perry movies, soap operas, and other romances where she saw all of these black women in those stories being courted by some guy who would basically take her to one of these 5-star Michelin restaurants and spend hundreds of dollars on her on a first date. And that's not how it works in the real world for real men and women, because a lunch date is basically one where you go and are looking to meet up with a person, and you're looking to meet up with a person over some food, and that food is not meant to be at that expensive. I mean, this guy basically went all out, basically taking her to the Shake Shack, because the Shake Shack is a very expensive fast food restaurant. I mean, it's a step up from the Arab red and white chicken place where this chick should have been taken, and it's a far step up from restaurants like McDonald's and Burger King, and the food is of a higher level, but this woman didn't appreciate it because she basically has an unrealistic picture of dating and relationships. And because she has an unrealistic picture of dating and relationships, she believes that a guy is supposed to take you out on a first lunch date to one of these high-end restaurants. And she wants to go to the high-end restaurant not because she wants to get to know the guy. No, she wants to go to the high-end restaurant basically so that she can go out here and take out that very same smartphone and then start snapping pictures of the appetizers and the main course and the dessert, and show that all off to her friends on Instagram and other social media, and make it like she's going out on a date with a baller. Basically, what this woman was looking to do was use this guy as a meal and drink guy that she could go out here and get a free meal out of. And I talk about this in depth in my book, The Misadventures of Captain Save-'Em. And what this woman wanted to do was go out here and get a free meal and a free drink out of this guy. And she's upset that she's not going to be able to have one of these high-end New York strip steak meals and have the appetizers of the scallops and all of this other high-end stuff and the molten lava cake. That's what she's upset about. She's upset that she won't be able to go out here and be able to floss in front of her friends on social media by saying she's out here with a baller and who's going out here giving her a high-end meal. That's basically what she's all upset about. And she's upset about this guy going out and taking her to the Shake Shack. And she's upset to the point where she doesn't really understand that a guy is not going to go out here and spend that kind of money on a woman he just met for a lunch date. No, when it comes to a lunch date or any first date, that first date is basically one where a guy wants to get to know you. 1, 2, he wants to assess your behavior to see if you're going to behave in a way that reflects positively on him. And 3, he really wants to just read your vibes and see if you're the kind of girl who he's into before he invests his time seriously on a serious date at one of these other places as related to his interests, and that's what he wants to see. But this woman, as she was throwing this tantrum and disrespecting this black man, didn't see that she basically wound up failing what a first date is with her just raggedy and out-of-pocket behavior. Because when you go out and openly disrespect a man on a first date, what you're doing is sending a message to that man that you are not somebody he needs to invest time in as related to a second date. Because if you are not somebody who can behave in a positive way on the first date, then that man is going to say to himself, this woman's behavior is just out of control. She's being rude. She's being disrespectful. She's being out of pocket. And I'm not going to go out here and have that reflecting badly on me and making me look weak. So what he's going to do is cut his losses with that woman over that meal and charge her to the game. And that's what's going to happen as related to this woman. What that man is going to do is say, look, this woman couldn't appreciate me taking her to the Shake Shack, so I'm not going to go out here and look to invest any more of my time on this woman, and I'm not going to invest any more time on this woman because she couldn't show me the basics as related to respect, because if you can't appreciate what a man does for you as related to a small gesture, as related to a first lunch date, then why should he go out here and invest hundreds of dollars to take you to a 5-star restaurant for dinner? That's the critical question this woman didn't know how to answer, because she was just so greedy, and she was just greedy to see what she could get out of this dude. That's basically what this woman wanted to do. She basically wanted to see if she could go out here and get some big money meal out of this dude, and hope that she could go out here and, after eating and talking to this guy, try to possibly flirt with him to try to get him to believe that he had a chance of seeing what's under the skid mark jockey thong, and hopefully, possibly, may get a chance at the taste of the atomic waste that's between her legs. And what she's doing in this whole case of this situation is she wanted to turn a simp into a trick, but because this guy took her to the Shake Shack, she didn't want to go out here and shake it no more for this dude, because she thought she was going to a restaurant that was far beneath her. However, most women would love to go to the Shake Shack, because the Shake Shack is a higher end restaurant, and it's a higher end restaurant with higher prices and higher quality food. But this woman couldn't appreciate it because she had completely unrealistic expectations, and those unrealistic expectations had her with a completely distorted picture of dating and relationships. And that whole completely unrealistic picture is possibly why this woman is going to wind up single for the rest of her life. And she's going to wind up single for the rest of her life, because many of these women like this, they just have, again, a ridiculously distorted picture of reality. They think that they're more attractive than what they are, and they don't appreciate what the gestures that men go out of their way to do for them. And because they don't appreciate the men, they wind up with nobody paying them any attention, because no guy is going to go out here and take you to one of these high-end, super high-end restaurants on a first date. And they're not going to do that, because that's just not how it works as related to dating and relationships. And that's something that many of these modern women don't understand. And that they don't understand this because many of these women never had a father in their life to show them what a real man is, because that's basically shown to me by the way this woman is behaving with this man. Because if this woman had a father in her life, she would not be talking disrespectful in front of this man and talking greasy in front of this man as he was going out here in front of the food that he bought her. I mean, this guy also shows me that he possibly came from a single mother household just like her, because he basically didn't see the signs of this woman as he was taking her into the Shake Shack. Because if I'm going into a restaurant and I ask the woman, okay, this is where we're going, is this where you want to eat? This is before I even make an order. And if she's sitting up here looking to go order food from a place that she says she doesn't like, that tells me that, again, this is a dishonest chick, because you're going to go out here, go to this restaurant with this man, go place an order for food, but you're going to go talk greasy to that man. That's disrespect on the highest level, and a man has to take his respect. And in that situation, a man takes his respect basically by saying, I'm just going to take this food, I'm going to eat this food, but I'm going to take my food away from you. You can go on to one of those fancy Shea Whitey restaurants, but this food that I paid for, this here is staying with me. Or as I would do it, okay, if you don't like what they have over here, you can just go on about your business, because this is what I wanted. This is where I'm taking you to show you the kind of evening that I want to have. But when you deal with modern women like this, again, if they don't respect you, you don't invest your money or your time in them, and you leave them to Pookie and Ray Ray, who will go out here and give them a magical evening at that Arab red and white chicken place. Go get them a 2-piece and possibly an apple pie if they're feeling very nice, because that's what these modern women, a lot of them that are ungrateful like this, basically deserve. I mean, here we have another case of a modern woman disrespecting a black man. And I know many of these folks out here are going to say, oh, it's a skit. No, this is another open and flagrant disrespect directed at the black man. And many of you brothers need to start understanding when you're being disrespected, because if you go out here and are arranging a lunch date and the woman don't like where you're taking them, that's when you need to just go take your ass on and leave her sitting wherever she is, because if she can't appreciate you at a lunch date, then there's no need investing in any more time in that woman. Let her go on with her fantasies and her delusions of being with this high value man who's going to be just as stupid enough to go out here and spend hundreds of dollars. I mean, this guy, I believe, went even too far, spending $50 on this woman, when all she really deserves, again, is some Arab red and white chicken with a roll and maybe an apple pie from the Arab red and white chicken place for $2.99. Or if you're really feeling generous, go get her some shrimp fried rice and some chicken wangs. That's all this woman basically deserves on a lunch date. Because if you're gonna be ratchet and ghetto, then we need to take you to the ghetto spot. Because if she can't behave in a ghetto spot and show you respect, then why should I take you to a high-end restaurant to go out here and embarrass someone? That's the critical question I gotta ask, because again, you gotta understand, if she can't behave in the basic place, then why should I take you to a higher place? That's the thing that flies over the heads of many of these modern women who believe they are entitled to things that they don't deserve, because this woman, she didn't deserve the Shake Shack. No, all she deserves is, again, that red and white chicken or that shrimp fried rice, because if you can't appreciate a man who's just looking to start with you, then you don't deserve to finish anything with that man. And that's what I believe is happening here. Again, just the flagrant disrespect. And I'll repeat it once more. I mean, black men, you got to stop seeing this as a skit or a joke and start holding these women accountable, because this is the third or fourth woman to go out here and take out her smartphone and openly disrespect and embarrass a black man who was just looking to go out here and try to get to know a woman. But this woman shows you everything about her character, is showing you no respect. And again, if you don't start taking this more seriously, you don't see how this disrespect can escalate. And again, if somebody is openly disrespecting you, you have to go out here and be able to read that early on. I mean, a smart guy would be able to say, the minute he walks into this restaurant, seeing that frowned up face with that bent grill on her face, and then would have just said, okay, since this afternoon is over, you can go your way, I'ma go mine. And this is even before you place an order, because again, if she can't respect the things that you do and respect the spots you want to go to, then she's not going to reflect positively on you. And if she's acting a fool on a first date, then you got to make sure as a man that you never go for a second date, especially for a woman who's just going to go out here and openly just record you straight to your face. Again, this is open disrespect directed at you, black man. And a lot of you guys, you can't laugh this off, because what's being done to you is no joke, because your respect, again, is not a joke. Your respect is something you need to take seriously as a man, because if she can go out here and sit in front of your food and disrespect you, this is something that just should not be tolerated from you as a man. No, I'm not going to spend no money on no food for no woman, and she going to come up and just be talking bad about me with us like this. No, if you can't appreciate me, you ain't getting nothing from me, and I'm just going to be like on my way. And that's the way guys have to start really thinking about this. You have to start thinking about your respect, because if you can't get your respect on the first date, then you're not going to be able to have it in a relationship. Because like I talked about in my book, Stop Simping, Why Men Don't Need Finance to Get Romance, how you start in a relationship is how you end up. Start with a woman is how you end up in a relationship with her, and how you start with a woman is how you end up. And if she's starting out with disrespect, you gotta set boundaries. And you set boundaries by cutting ties with this woman and charging her to the game. Because, again, your time is precious. And your time is too precious to waste on women who have no respect for you. Because if this modern woman got it like that, where she's all that, then she can pay her own way. And she can pay her own way and go take her ass to Shea Whitey and go eat that 5-star Michelin food and have that strong independent meal, because she clearly shows that she don't need a man and possibly will never get one again. Now, if you want to learn why women like this act this way and will be part of the 70% of black women who will be single for the rest of their life, you can pick up my book, Why 70% of Black Women Are Single, on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. You can also find Why 70% of Black Women Are Single at other online booksellers like Smashwords, the iBookstore, Google Play, and Barnes & Noble. And if you want to learn how to avoid dealing with female predators like this, you can pick up my book, Stop Simping, Why Men Don't Need Finance to Get Romance, on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. You can also find Stop Simping, Why Men Don't Need Finance to Get Romance at other online booksellers like Smashwords, the iBookstore, Google Play, and Barnes & Noble. And if you want to see me make more videos like this, taking these dating disasters to the barbecue, you can send a donation to the Patreon, the PayPal, or the Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe. Coming to paperback and e-readers, John Haynes, Illuminati. The man who rules the world takes on the head of the global elite in this action-packed, all-new John Haynes series adventure. Pre-order your copy of John Haynes, Illuminati on Amazon.com and online booksellers everywhere. Support Black-owned and Black-operated digital broadcast media. www.niceradionetwork.com. Nice Radio Network, broadcasting 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.